All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a Joel Embiid update. He had the surgery on the knee, and Woj tweeted about his potential return, and I was on the money. Let me get the screen up here, dude. I was on the money. Woj tweets, Philadelphia 76ers star Joel Embiid underwent a left meniscus procedure on Tuesday and will be reevaluated in approximately 4 weeks. Now, Eastwood, why are you saying you were on the money, bro? I just said a couple days ago, the Sixers are not going to be clear about Embiid's timeline. Remember the Markelle Fultz situation. They need you to have hope, so you keep paying to come to games. They've been selling you hope since the process started. Buy bad team cheap, sell hope, profit big time. So every doctor that we heard from before this procedure went down gave us basically two things. They said there's either a removal of the meniscus entirely that could have him back in 8 weeks, right? 2 months, which might bring him back around the first round of the playoffs. There's also a repair of a torn meniscus that would have him out 4 to 8 months recovery time. And we said, we're not going to know until he has it done. And the Sixers and everybody said, we're not going to know until he has it done. And Shams and Woj said, nobody's going to know until they go into the doctors go in there and see what it is and repair it. So they go in there, they see what it is, and they repair it, and they still don't tell us what happened. There's two procedures, a meniscectomy, which is the removal of the meniscus, and a meniscus repair. The update is Joel Embiid had a left meniscus procedure. Which fucking procedure did he have, Woj? Which one? They're not going to tell you that. Because they don't want, if he's out for the season, they're not going to tell you. They need you to believe that he might come back. He had a left meniscus procedure and will be reevaluated whenever the fuck we want. Approximately 4 weeks. This doctor here, Dr. Evans Jeffries, DPT, doctor of physical therapy, sports injury and analyst, owner of Evolving Motion, writer, guest injury analyst on Fox Sports Radio. Sounds like they opted for a meniscectomy, cut the meniscus out, versus repair. Timeline for healing is typically 4 to 8 weeks. Correct. Why didn't Woj say that, Dr. Evan Jeffries? If they did a meniscectomy, and this is the timeline, why are you telling me what the procedure was and what the timeline is? Why is the 76ers, through Adrian Wojnarowski, not telling us what the procedure was and what the timeline is? I'm telling you right now, bro, they're going to reevaluate him in 4 weeks, and they're going to say Joel Embiid was reevaluated, and he's going to be reevaluated again in 4 weeks. That's what's happening. This fucking organization has been doing this to you since the process started. Purchase bad team for $500 million. Draft some players, sell some hope. Oh, Ben's going to shoot the ball, bro. Just wait. Just give him time. Give him 6 years. Markelle Fultz, his shoulder's going to get fixed, bro. Just give him 7 years. Just please keep coming to the games so I can flip my $500 million investment for $2 billion and fuck all you guys. Josh Harris masterclass incoming. Now, I hope I'm completely wrong and Joel Embiid comes back in 8 weeks, obviously. And if I am completely wrong, it'll be the first time I was wrong about this organization being a bunch of scumbags. All right? I just want you to know that. And I won't take it back. I won't delete the video, and I won't regret what I said. Some dates to keep in mind with Joel Embiid's expected recovery timeline. Sixers All-Star break 4 weeks from today is March 6th. 6 weeks from today is March 19th. 8 weeks from today is April 2nd. Start of playoffs is April 20th. So if the Sixers organization are not scumbags, which they are, and he does come back in 8 weeks, he could be back in time to try to get, some chemistry and knock some rust off before the playoffs start. I just don't think that's what's happening here. Also, the entire removal of the meniscus is not good for the longevity of his career, because then you're playing without a meniscus. Joel could have elected to do that. If they said, look, you're about to turn 30, you could play on it for a couple more years, or we can repair the meniscus. You can miss the rest of this season, and you can maybe have a couple years added to the end of your career. I don't know. I'm just saying, it doesn't sound like it would be smart for a player to have their entire meniscus removed. It sounds like it would be the team and Joel Embiid valuing this season over the length of his career, which can't be the case, because this roster fucking blows, dude. If this team had a roster that made you feel like you can win it this season, then sure. I don't think that's what happened. But again, we don't know, because the Sixers aren't going to tell you what happened. There it is. There's the hope they're selling. Give me a little bit of that hope. Give me a little bit more of that hope. Oh, give me some more of that hope. How Embiid's recovery goes over the next few weeks will be paramount, but there continues to be a belief that the door isn't closed on the possibility of the reigning MVP's return this season. How his recovery goes after which procedure was done, Woj? Oh, we're not telling you. We're not telling you. We're not telling you what procedure he had and how long he might be out. We're just going to keep feeding you these vague little nuggets to keep selling you hope. Jesus. Philadelphia has flexibility. They have picks. They don't have Joel Embiid right now. Hasn't stopped Daryl Morey from calling around the league and chasing everybody's superstars who are not available. That's what he does. What? That's what Woj said today on his own podcast. Not having Joel Embiid hasn't stopped Daryl Morey from calling around the league and chasing everybody's superstars who are not available. What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What do you mean chasing everybody's superstars who are not available? What are you going to trade? You don't have that many assets. Hey, guys, I'll give you 3 firsts and Furkan Korkmaz for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, what are you talking about? Paul George? Is he talking about? Kawhi just signed an extension. Paul George is going to sign an extension. Is he talking to the Lakers about LeBron James? What are we talking about? Could you at least give us a player, Woj? No. You vague son of a bitch. The Detroit Pistons are interested in Tobias Harris. Hey, bro, great jersey swap. Who did this Photoshop here? And I read the article too, and it claims that the Detroit Pistons are leaning more towards trying to sign Tobias Harris in the offseason. That would be because the Detroit Pistons are, for some reason, not in tank mode, and they don't want to take on salary dumps. So they don't want to pay that Tobias Harris $40 million expiring contract. They would like to see if they can let his contract expire with the Sixers and then sign him in the offseason for cheaper. But at the same time, why would Tobias Harris want to go to Detroit? I think Detroit's best way to get Tobias Harris would be to trade for him before this trade deadline, not wait until the offseason where he can go wherever he wants, because he would probably like to be on a contender towards the end of his career, right? I have no idea why the Detroit Pistons are interested in Tobias Harris, but if Daryl Morey doesn't make that happen, then his obsession with Tobias Harris is almost on the level of his obsession with James Harden, and the story continues. Here you go. All 3 realistic targets for the Sixers at the trade deadline. Kyle Kuzma, Malcolm Brogdon, and Bojan Bogdanovic appear unlikely to be traded before Thursday's deadline, per Woj ESPN on his podcast. The Wizards, Trailblazers, and Pistons are more likely to reassess their futures in the offseason, which again just solidifies what everybody believes about Daryl Morey. He's not calling these teams asking about Malcolm Brogdon or Bojan Bogdanovic or Kyle Kuzma. You just saw on the other report, he's calling teams asking them about their superstars who aren't available. Remember when Ben Simmons was about to be traded and the Tyrese Halliburton rumor was up there and Daryl Morey was on the radio saying Sixers players want me to trade him for just random NBA players? It's almost to the point where, does he even know anybody that's not a big name superstar? All he's done in his career is trade for James Harden. And with James Harden on the Rockets, what did he do? Did he fill out the roster with complimentary role players that could get you somewhere? No. He traded for Chris Paul. He traded for Russell Westbrook. He traded for Dwight Howard. He only knows big names, bro. We're fucking screwed. So he's going to go into this offseason with this cap flexibility thinking he can sign a superstar. I'm sorry I'm being ultra negative today, but man, I don't have any belief in this team, the organization, the GM, anybody. And just to kick us while we're down, I talked all that shit at the beginning of the season. Joel gets injured. The Clippers start gelling. And now they are, on the NBA power rankings, the best team in the NBA. And we were saying the Sixers won the trade. And we thought we fleeced the Clippers and Harden was washed and they gave up too much for him. We might have been completely wrong. Here we are. Sixers fans, after 1983, thinking that we won anything. I hate this team, man. I'll see you guys soon.